Welcome back to another episode of Sound Avenue Talks. If you haven't seen the first episode, go ahead and check it out in our channel right here. We feature artist duo Mariner and Domingo on that one. If you have seen it though, we'd like to thank you for watching and listening to our podcast series. I hope you enjoy it and get to learn a lot from these artists. For this episode of Sound Avenue Talks, we welcome Hot TuneiK. Hot TuneiK, or Diego, is an electronic music producer and DJ based in Mexico and has been producing music for over 10 years. He's a well-known artist in the progressive house field for his original releases and remixes. He has released on prominent labels such as Proton Music, Particles, Soundteller Records, just to name a few, and of course, here on Sound Avenue and Third Avenue as well. In this episode of the podcast series, we talk about his journey into electronic music, his creative process in his production, the importance of expressing oneself in the form of music, an upcoming album that he is to release that may have sounds and styles that you may not expect to hear from him, and actually has taken me by quite a pleasant surprise. So, without further ado, here's Hot TuneiK.
Perfect. Now I'm recording.
Okay,
How do I pronounce her name?
So it's pronounced Hyunji.
Hyunji. Perfect.
Yeah. All right. Wow. Okay, this is great. Thanks for being here, Diego.
It's my pleasure. I'm so happy to be here as well.
So, so I have to ask you, how did your name is it pronounced Hot TuneiK, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. How did your
Actually,
name come from?
It's like a play. It's like how to explain? It's like we were playing with words. It was like around maybe 10 years or more. Actually, we were having a reunion with some of my friends, and we were discussing about how my name should be, no? And I used to drink a lot. Well, my favorite drink is vodka tonic. And,
that's a solid drink.
Yeah, everything comes from there. And the other friend just scream out like, "Hey, you should put hot first tunic." And I was like, "Okay, it sounds great."
Oh, so it's like a wordplay on tonic.
Yeah, it's like a tune,
wow.
like a tune, like a track, like a song.
Yeah. That's really cool. And the proper way to spell your artist name is with a capital K, right? For tune.
Yeah, it's Hot TuneiK.
Okay. And is there a reason why it's a capital letter?
No, just like the way it seemed, like the H with capitals and the K also. Yeah. Okay.
Oh wow. I never would have thought it came from tonic. That's really cool. So Dom has told me a little bit about how you came to be on his label, and you guys actually go way back like years ago, right?
Yeah. I've been it was like around 7-8 years that I know Dominic, and it was a fun fact actually because I applied one of our remix contests he made for Sound Avenue.
Yeah.
And I didn't win actually, but he liked so much the remix that he put it on a compilation that he made, and he sent me the CD. So it was great. Everything started from there. And it was a long back ago. It was around maybe 2015, I guess.
He told me that it was the first and only CD that he ever got to make for the label.
Yeah.
So that's kind of special. Do you have the CD?
Do I have what?
The CD.
Yeah, actually I have it. I have it right here. I don't know where it is, but yeah,
okay.
I have it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so you released the remix on that CD, and he's also told me that let me rephrase that he was one of the first artists that you booked him at a club that you're a resident to. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, is that right? I was working with Hookah Group. It's a very famous known club here in Mexico City, and I was running Hookah Records by that time.
Mm.
And yeah, I invited it for playing, and actually he came twice. One for my birthday, and the first time we bring it on Hookah Records party. Yeah, it was great. And I
Wow.
think it was around maybe 4 years now or so, something like that.
That's really cool. And he's also told me that so you were you living in Mexico City before?
Yeah,
Okay.
actually now I'm living in Puerto. It's a beautiful place right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, by that time I was living in Mexico City. Yeah, for
Okay.
30 years.
Okay. So what made you make that change, that move?
You know what? I was a little bit tired about the city, all the
Okay.
noises, all the stress that city applies by
Mm,
doing everything. You know, from the moment you start by hearing all the noises from the street. It's a beautiful city, of course. It's my city, you know, but nah, it's too much pressure, too much stress, and
mm.
now moving here was something else actually. Yeah.
Okay. It's really cool because um Mexico, especially Oaxaca, where you're based, is was one of the places I've been thinking of traveling to recently.
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of tourists right here actually. It's a surf place, and it's beautiful. It's really, really, really
Hmm.
beautiful being here actually. Yeah.
Do you go to the beach on a regular basis and go
Yeah, of
surfing and
course. I go to the
oh
beach. I try to go to the beach at least. Yeah, because I've been in the studio the whole day, 24/7. So
yeah.
sometimes I'm exhausted, you know. But
Okay.
yeah, I normally go 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh, that's amazing. I am so envious of that. I'm in
Yeah.
Montreal in Canada. I don't know
Uh-huh.
if you've ever been here, but there's no beaches at all. The weather
Oh
isn't
no,
as great.
no, no. Perfect. Yeah, I also have a friend who lives there in Toronto.
So speaking of, while we're on the topic, what does a typical day look for you?
What is a typical day? Okay, I woke up around 7 a.m. in the morning. I go for a walk with my dog here, Bongo, and yeah, then I come home back and I start working, start producing. Normally, I do lessons, online lessons,
Mm,
and when I have students, of course, I put it on my regular day, and then just whatever I need to do in the studio, you know, remixes. Because now I'm working on my album, so it's been a great journey. But yeah, it's a long time, and how to explain, like from 12 midday and around 7, 8 in the night, I ended up like
wow.
work. Yeah. And by the
Wow.
weekends, just gigs and presentations and all that kind of stuff.
For sure. So in the studio, it's not just productions that you work on, but you're also giving classes for producing classes.
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
I do a lot of stuff actually. My music has been on videos, on promotional videos for cinema.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
so yeah, I have the chance to work with several brands, and it's also a great experience to do that, you know. And also, I record bands here. I work with local people here, and it's
Mm.
amazing because I have the chance to meet a lot of people here. And for example, I'm working with Vicente. This such a decent guy, and we're working on this album. I'm
Mm.
mixing and mastering, and sometimes I go to the studio and record them for them. So it's another experience as well.
Oh, so that's really cool. So you get to be exposed to a lot of different styles of music then. It's not just electronic music, right?
Yeah. Actually, I'm working actually with a friend whose name is Lemore, and he lives in Canada as well.
Okay.
And uh, I do for her sometimes even reggaeton style, kind of hip hop music, bossa nova, wherever she asks me
Nice.
to do. Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I really enjoy listening to bossa nova and reggaeton like once in a while. So,
Yeah. Basically, where the music is, I'm
yeah,
there.
that's cool. So I'm guessing that I mean, okay, so what kind of music do you like to listen to other than electronic music?
I listen to down tempo, but not like how to explain, like the organic electronic music,
Mm.
like how to explain, some sort of like crazy P kind of style music, and I also like jazz.
Mm.
Um, what else? I love rock music and
Oh,
punk
yeah.
music as well. Yeah,
Okay. That's cool. And I'm seeing behind you, you have a screen up. Is that Ableton?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I was working on a project on a remix actually for
Okay.
Harmony, and yeah, pretty much it's over, it's done. But yeah, I'm gonna play it this weekend, of course.
Play. Oh, you mean like live at a show?
Yeah, of course. I have
Okay.
a show this weekend, so I'm put it on try it there. So that was working 24/7 these days now.
Oh man. Yeah, I noticed I scrolled through your releases um since I don't know, since you started on Beatport, and you've been doing like a lot of remixes. Is that mostly your thing to do more remixes than like
No, you
it's
know what? It's a funny thing because I've been focused so much on my original productions, but
Mhm.
when I do that, of course, it requires more time and dedication and energy. Which now I'm, for that reason, I'm working on my album. It's a 14 track
Wow.
album. So yeah, it applies all the styles that I like, and it goes between down tempo, progressive house, of course, deep house music, indie house, and techno. So it goes from the very beginning to the end. It's gonna be beautiful. So, but it has a lot of collaborations as well. So it's
Okay.
taken a lot of time. I've been working, yeah, on the album for like a year and a half now. So the result
Wow.
is going to be so good.
So people could expect to hear a variety of styles from you in that album?
Yeah,
Okay.
what I plan to do here is to how to explain, to show people that I mean, it's a funny thing that normally people it's married to one style. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be or I don't want that from my project because I love to make even house music or deep house music. So I don't want it to be considered as only as a progressive
Mm,
house producer, just
right.
music in general. Of course, only the styles that I like, but in general terms, yeah, I'm applying a different kind of styles. Obviously, my version of those styles, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Actually, one of my questions that I wanted to ask was I noticed that in the earlier days that you were producing, it was mostly like tech house or like deep house type of music. And then you slowly,
Yeah,
I don't know, transitioned into a more progressive house style, right?
yeah, yeah, it's curious, because
Yeah.
my very first production, it was a tech house. And I remember it was in this label called House Drive Records, if I don't remember
Okay.
correct. And yeah, I was doing a lot of tech house back in the day, and everything changed. It was around 2010 when one of my friends first bring Guy J.
Oh.
So yeah, by that time I was like, whoa, what is this? And I yeah,
That's it.
because
That's really interesting because that I had the exact same thing happen to me with Guy J.
yeah, that guy is
uh,
amazing.
yeah, truly.
Yeah, and everything from there changed for me.
Mm.
I started to get more involved in progressive house music and all. most of his sounds, and yeah, everything changed from there. And yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow. He must. I can only imagine how much of an impact he has had on so many people when it comes to aspiring producers or like even like already established producers, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, because music is a powerful thing to express, and when you do it right, of course, it has a great impact for everyone. So um, that's why artists like him try to take care of every detail and every mood of the track or every mood of their mixing, or just the way they do their job, and that's what makes them special. And that's what I'm trying to do with my project, of course, to build a style from my own, and of course share it with the people. That's what it's all about.
This may be a personal question, but when for you, when it comes to producing music, what is there something specific that you're trying to express through your music?
Yeah, of course. Every single track that I've made, it's a little piece of my life. Normally, I put in the name of the tracks, and the others I try to play with what I'm trying to express with the track and with the track name. And yeah, I mean, every single track of what I've made, it's a part of my journey in this career. So yeah.
That's wonderful. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like for example, this song that I called Melancholia, I was having for this, I would say, not difficult, but I was struggling with some things, and my only way to canalize that thing has always been the music. So I express myself using that, the music, the frequencies that I use, the melodies that I use, everything that I use is how to explain, like fully prepared for what I'm trying to express. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing to do actually.
And do you find that when you channel those expressions through your music and you finish producing a track and you listen back to it, are you satisfied with the way you've expressed it through that music?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'm the first one to dance my songs, because
Yeah,
that's what. Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
That's actually true.
Yeah, that's what I told people to my close friends. Is like, man, if you don't trust in your product, in your song, in what you do, it will never going to happen. And yeah, I'm the first person to dance on my track, of course. And if something in the mood changes, I go back to the studio and try to change it, edit it. I be fully satisfied with the track. So yeah, but I'm the very first person to dance to the track.
How long does it take normally for you on average to complete a track?
It depends. Sometimes when I'm inspired, I can finish a track in a day. Not like fully terminated, but how to explain it? Like just like 80% of the track. And there's some other days when I open a project, I start a project, and it's been, I don't know, 1 month and 2 months, and nothing happens. So it's a funny thing to say, but I don't know. Normally, I would say like I don't know, if I'm in a bit of a rush, I could do it for a day or two. But yeah. Because sometimes I forget things, which is one of my my main things. Yeah, and there's like this message from the label manager say, "Hey Diego, do you have the remix ready?" And I'm, oh god, yeah. And I started working, and yeah. Luckily for me, I work pretty fast and pretty how to say it, like how to explain it, like right in the target,
When you listen back to some of your old music, like the ones that you created years and years ago. How do you feel about that?
Wow, it's a funny. I mean, it's obviously there's not a bad track that I've made,
Okay.
but of course with time comes more experience, and
Yeah.
by doing that, the sounds obviously changes, and it's evolving. So when I'm listening to my old tracks, it's only a reminder for what my creativity is growing, and it's amazing because if I go backwards, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years, I had a different sound. I was making another different stories, and I was trying to express different kind of things. What is going on? What happening in my life? So yeah, basically.
That's a really good perspective to have, because when I listen to the earlier stuff that I've released, I mean, I've only been producing for about 2 years now, and
Perfect.
it's only been recently that I've released music. But when I listen back to the first productions I've made, I just cringe, and I'm like, oh god, like how did I make this? It just sounds so bad. The mix is horrible,
Yeah.
So like I really admire that way of thinking about your artistic skills from the past.
Thank you so much. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I listen, of course, to my old music, and they have the idea, but the sound is not right. Of course, the mixing thing was not totally applied, and a lot of techniques that are not today. So yeah, it's a constant evolution, because you never stop learning. Even though when I'm doing the lessons, the classes for the students, there's no class where I don't learn anything from them as well. So you continue evolving and improving your sound.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you find that when you're creating your music and your style, do you try to fit that sound to what is, I guess, common these days, or do you try to make your own, try to come up with something new and different?
Yeah, for a long time, I was trying to follow what people were listening, and I don't know. For me, it became on the point where I wasn't evolving in that part.
Okay.
So now that is what I'm doing. I'm trying to build my own how to say, my own style. Not. I mean, it's just playing with words, because there's always going to be progressive house, but in my version of progressive house. So yeah, like there's a lot of producers who keep doing music and keep continuing the same sound, which is sorry like that.
It's okay.
Which is perfect for them. I mean, but for me, it's not what I want for my project, for myself, because trying different things and I don't know, mixing different styles, it's like a challenge. And when you mix it right, wow, the sound is amazing.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to mixing the progressive kind of sound with deep house vibes because I love a lot of percussion. And yeah, now the techno has grown into me, so I'm trying to mix those kind of styles, and the result, wow, it's amazing.
Can we expect to hear that in your album?
Yeah, of course, of course. Actually, the first track is a down tempo song. Then it goes like from down tempo, deep house, indie house, progressive house, and techno. So it will apply the old styles that I like to play in my sets.
Oh, so okay. Have you tried playing some of your tracks from the album already, like in your sets?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Okay.
A lot of them. Obviously, in different parties, in different occasions, because there's a lot of transitions on the album. So yeah, but I've tried them and the result is amazing. It's amazing because I'm showing them my version of those styles, which is, I mean, for me, it's obviously beautiful. So I hope people will love it.
Oh man. Is there a are you still a resident at a club where you play on a regular weekend where that's where you test out your music?
No, actually,
Okay.
I don't have any residency right
Oh, okay,
now.
okay.
It's because I don't want to. And
Okay.
I worked in Hookah Group for more than 8 years, and it was so, so beautiful for me being there because I had the chance to meet Guy J, Nick Warren, Guy Mansur, Henry Saiz, Cora Novoa, a lot of artists who obviously um, had an impact on my career and my production and even myself. Knowing those artists for me, it was special, and it was a continuous full agenda of Hookah Group. So yeah, that's what I stood there for 7, 8 years,
Okay.
and it was
And
good, so so good.
and what is the reason that you would prefer not to be a resident DJ?
What I liked the most right now? It's to have less presentations because when I was doing the residency, like playing every single weekend, it's amazing, of course, but it requires a lot of time, a lot of dedication on buying tracks, downloading tracks, make the tracks. And no, I'm actually now more focused on making music and playing all around the world. Basically, that's my objective.
Oh, that's great. Have you
Yeah,
played outside of Mexico?
yeah. I had the
Okay.
chance to go to India. I had a
Wow.
beautiful tour there, and also Costa Rica twice,
Nice.
Colombia as well 2 times, and yeah, was supposed to go to Spain last year, also Australia, and there's a lot of
Wow.
interesting on the United States. But let's see what's coming up.
Wow, that's cool. Oh man. I can only dream of playing outside of my country right now. I mean,
No, and it's amazing. That's what I told all my friends that the ticket it's making and keep making good quality music. That's the
yeah.
I mean that's our job basically.
Hmm.
Just for for me, I understand that my presentations it's part of what I do because my
Hmm.
main thing to do is making music. So
Yeah.
everything starts from there, and yeah.
So, what does your creative process look like? Let's say you're starting a brand new track. How do you how do you start your how do you get your creative juices flowing?
Okay. Well, first is the intention.
Okay.
Uh, First, it's what I want to express. Like for example, on my album, I dedicate a full track for my family
Mm,
members. Uh, there's also a track which is the last track of my album, which is the name is Be as Bongo. And in this track, it's kind of electronic dub step mix.
mm,
It has like a weird mix of styles. But the intention right there is that I put a recording for all the dogs who are in the streets, who are putting to her sleep for not adopting them. So there's a lot of powerful message on
mm,
the album, and that is, I mean, that's kind of the process. What I'm trying to do to connect with the people, consciousness, and in
mm.
other way I can, basically.
That's interesting. Do you think this is a really curious thing that I've also wondered, but when you make a track with a specific intention, for example, the one that you just said, and let's say you release that in the world, out into the world, and people listen to the track, do you think people would interpret the track in the way that you want to? Or I don't know, it's a curious thing, I find.
Yeah, I mean, everything has to match. Like the message that I'm trying to give with the melody, the drum section, with everything that the track requires. So yeah, for example, in this track that I made for Bongo, I use very inspirational pads with a very constant repeating groove, but it's more like a dusted kind of a style with breaks on it, and but the melody is how do I say? Uh, yeah, it's inspiring, you know, and yeah, I expect that the people get through the message, which hopefully it's the point, and it's the reason what I'm doing this, of course.
So okay, so you start with the intention first, and then what would be your process for laying down, I guess, when throwing in all the ingredients of elements of a track, like you mentioned the percussions, the drums.
Yeah, what I started to make my drum section, all the sequence, what I do is from compass 1 to 5, I started making the own loop, and I build the whole elements that are going to be on sequence. Then if I need more space on the project, I go maybe, I don't know, to 17 compass. Then for that space that I have, I can reach several space to make a nice melody, to create some pads, and before obviously start making my structure, which is it's a interesting thing, because what I've learned by doing that is that I don't I don't came with a point when I don't know how to start or keep creating the track. So it's easy for me to begin with a loop, then start the structure, the mixing and mastering.
Oh, that's pretty similar to how I work. Just using a loop to get the base of the song and then build on top of it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean it's a funny an interesting technique, because it helps when you beginning to build your structure. You can easily go to the chorus or wherever is that you left the loop created, and it's fun because you came in the point when you are almost have finished your track. So yeah, so we have almost the same technique.
Yeah. And this is something I'm always curious about when for any producer. But when you make your melodies, do you tend to just try out different notes on your keyboard, or do you already have an idea of how the melody is going to sound when you put it down?
No, no, everything start from a single key, you know, like just even your A, C, or wherever now you're working. And yeah, I start to using my fingers, and normally what I do it is more like I'm jamming, and I record it. Then, and then I start by choosing what I like or what needs to be edited and blah blah blah. But yeah, normally I'm jamming, and then I go with more detailed stuff to put everything in its place and create the melody that I wanted to use for the track.
Okay, that's interesting. Sometimes I do that as well when I don't really have an idea of what I want to do. So jamming is always a good way. Have you played in do you play any instruments?
I mean, I have basic knowledge of guitar, bass, and drums, but I mean, obviously, I'm not a professional. But yeah, I know quite a few songs.
Okay. And so in your album, there are many different styles. Is there a specific style that you find more challenging to to produce?
I mean, for me, every style is challenging
Okay.
because
Yeah.
it's amazing when you discover different versions of what is progressive house or in house or even house music by itself, and it's amazing to know the interpretation of each producer to give, and it's amazing because for once, for others can be house and for us can be progressive house, and I don't know, it's a curious thing to analyze, but yeah, I think for me every style is a challenge when it's fully um, made and prepared, of course, no, because we have some tracks that it doesn't require how to explain, like too much work just for
Mm.
saying something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, every single track and every style for me, it's a challenge, of course.
Okay. And have you completed the album yet, or are you still working on it?
I have the 14 tracks already,
Okay.
but on the whole track, on the whole album, I'm working with collaborations. So I'm waiting for a guy to give me the vocals. Also a friend, she has to send me the vocals, but she was pregnant, so I have to be a little bit more
Mm. A little
yeah.
more
So
patient.
exactly, yeah, I don't want to pressure, of course, yeah, exactly. But
Mm.
yeah, I have the 14 tracks, so I'm
Okay.
waiting for the vocals, and I'm waiting for also a violin that
Oh,
this girl,
wow.
yeah. She's from Chihuahua, and
Okay.
we're working a track with the violin, and wow, the result is going to be amazing.
Wow. It's really not often that you hear violins in electronic music, so I'm really curious to hear that.
Beautiful instrument, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And when are you, well, I mean, I guess it's hard to say because you're still waiting on the tracks to come in. But when is there like a rough time that we can expect to hear the album? Like or
Uh,
release the album?
And not exactly,
Okay.
because I don't want to put pressure on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing it, and I was trying to release the album just by this year, but by the things that people is going through. So I like to be patient. So it's going to take the time that it needs to take. So I'm
Okay.
patient with it.
Okay. So I guess in the meantime, you're working on other music production works.
Yeah, of course. By that
Okay.
time, I'm working on several tracks. Which now I delivered just a few days ago from my friends on the Groove Music. It's an original track, which is amazing. I use the vocals of one of my friends here, Jason. Yeah, wow, the track, it's amazing. And yeah, a lot of remixes are coming for Massive Harmony, and
Oh yeah.
also Dominic's brand is coming up to remixes.
Hmm.
And yeah, a lot of work and a lot of originals and remixes are coming before the album.
Okay, that's great. Oh man, yeah, just keeping the momentum going.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I mean, it will not be more longer than my birthday, and my birthday is the January 12th. So, so by that time, it's going to be the yeah, exactly release date. So,
Mm. When was it in the which point in your life did you realize that music was the the best way for you to express yourself?
um, um, I don't know. I mean, I started to make just to playing around,
Okay.
with FL Studio. Uh, I was 15 years old, so I started to make my first tracks and my first beats, and I noticed that I had like this spark on the on this career. But by that time, I was too young. I was obviously studying. I was living with my parents, of course. So I was doing much more a lot of other things rather than music. But when I was 20, I guess it changed everything for me, because I started to see this more like a professional way, not just like to be playing in the parties and showing a face. I was trying to create something that it was unique. And actually, my dad, he was like, "Hey, man, you should be doing your own music." And everything started from there. I started to make music. I started to meet a lot of people that helped me all the way, like Daniel, Yacer. Yeah, there's been a lot of people involved in my growing and in my improving as a producer and as a human being as well. But yeah, it was around like 20 years. When I was 20 years, I decided that this was my thing, because it's an amazing journey. Of course, like other careers and like a lot of professions, sometimes you're on the top, sometimes you're below, and but it's like a regular kind of stuff, and I mean, it just inspired me to keep making music.
So, as someone who's produced for such a long time, over 10 years, right?
Yeah, of course,
So,
but mainly or professionally, like
okay.
maybe around 6 years, like not like playing, but yeah, I started to making music around 15 years old.
So, as someone who's been producing for many, many years, what is there some advice or tips that you can give to someone like me who's only been producing for a short amount of time? Like, is there something that I can expect to learn in the journey, in this long process, in this long journey of like producing music for a long time?
I mean, I would say happiness for once, because that's what music has given to me. It has gave me happiness. Of course, it applies to everything that I've made now, and it has improved my life, myself, everything in my life. So making music, and even for you and for any other artist, I think it's not a way out, but it's a way to express ourselves as an artist and as a producers. So just keep continuing music, and it's an incredible journey. And like we said, live it, love it, and learn it.
But it's for sure. Are there moments where you feel you experience these creative ruts where the music, you're trying to make something but it just doesn't come out right, or it just doesn't sound right, and you get frustrated? What do you do in those moments?
I take a break.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the best thing for me in that case is to take a break. Because yeah, I can make a track when I'm stressed, when I'm not putting the right energy. So yeah, that's for me is the first how do I say, like announce to hey Diego, you need to stop, you need to take a break. And for me, I don't know, I that happened to me all the time. So I mean, it's part of the journey as well. So the only thing is to keep and continue doing music. That's the thing.
Yeah. So when you do take those breaks, what else do you do to, I guess, occupy that moment where you're taking the break?
I'll spend normally the whole day with my friends, go to the beach, stay here with Bongo, go jogging with them, and basically being out just for the studio environment. Because yeah, you need to get to get a distraction. It's necessary sometimes, and to be to socialize with people. Obviously, it helps.
Okay, those are some really good tips to keep in mind.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Like I really admired your positive outlook on like so many things in life. I think that's a very, very healthy way of seeing a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, for me, doing this, it's a beautiful thing to do, to having these chats with you, to have the opportunity to know people like Dominic, like all of the friends all around the world that I have, mostly producers, of course. And it's amazing to share experiences, to share knowledge, of course, techniques and collaborations. It's something else to work with something with someone that you be wanted to work with, or that you have been expected to work with, and when you've done it, it's wow, it's amazing. It's another feeling in the world.
Is there a specific producer that you wish you could, like you dream of working with?
Yeah, of course, we got Jay.
Oh, we can be on the same boat for that one.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, that guy is on another level. And yeah. I mean,
All
that's
right.
keeps me in the loop and improving my sound, of course. Keep on that level and be on that level. It's my main goal and objective. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so I'm gonna be asking you a series of rapid fire questions. So you don't have to answer it like right away, or you can give a longer answer, which is fine. So the first question
Okay.
is, if you could only produce with one piece of equipment and nothing else, what would it be?
A keyboard.
Like a MIDI keyboard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nothing,
Yeah.
and not a specific type, but just a MIDI keyboard?
No, I mean, obviously, I have this idea in my mind, which is some sort of a keyboard and combines all the analog stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, like having imagine like having this kind of a keyboard with a screen on it
Yeah.
where you can control everything. Wow, that is so amazing.
Okay. Next question would be, I think we already know the answer to that one. It was, who is your biggest influence or role model? I guess, okay, so I'll switch the question. Instead of music, who would be your biggest influence, like in your life, in your life in general?
I mean, it changed my life, of course. Being in this environment, in this profession, in this journey, it changed my life. I mean, being in the music business is unbelievable, of course.
Okay, that's a fair enough answer. What is something that most people don't know about you, but you would like to share?
What is something that I would like to share?
That most people don't really know about you or Hot TuneiK.
Okay. I'm vegan. Well, mostly vegetarian.
Oh, okay.
Trying to go vegan, of course, but I'm trying.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
difficult. I've been there too.
Yeah.
I'm also
Yeah.
trying my best.
Yeah, you also vegetarian?
So when I do my groceries, I don't buy meat. I do treat myself to some cheese occasionally because cheese is just so good.
Yeah, I know.
But I buy a vegan meat if I can find.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I'm vegetarian. I don't drink anymore. I've been sober for what almost 4 months now. So I'm planning to keep it that way because the ideas are coming in tons. So I think it's the best way to keep making music in a very sober and conscious state. So
yeah, that's a fact.
yeah.
If you were stuck in an island for an indefinite amount of time, what is one thing that you would bring with you if it could only be one thing?
Oof, Bongo.
Yeah.
Dog, of course. Yeah.
What's the breed of your dog?
It's a golden retriever.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
those
it's
are
a
the
beautiful.
best.
Yeah,
They're the
he's actually
sweetest.
lying
Yeah.
down here. Yeah,
And how old is Bongo?
he's almost 7 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's at his middle age, but he has powers still. So yeah, it's amazing to go with him at the beach. And yeah,
Mm.
yeah, this is the only one thing.
Is there any way that he helps you in your creative process with music?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah. He's basically a master for me, and he's always around with me. So yeah, I would lose my mind if he wasn't around with me.
Oh, that's really nice. All right. So, all right, to just to end the the interview, are there any upcoming releases or gigs that you would like to share?
Yeah, releases. There's a lot of releases coming up. There's a track is coming on Undergroup Music. Also for Zero Tolerance. I don't know if I can talk about it this much, but yeah, it's a good kind of thing which I have with these guys. And what else? Yeah, a lot of remixes for Balkan Connection, for Sound Avenue, Third Avenue, for Massive Harmony, and which other brands? I don't remember actually, but there's a lot of work that is coming up.
Well, I mean, okay. One last question. Where is the best place where people can stay up to date with your projects?
And on my social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and Beatport, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, it's where my team basically is posting all my my work, my advances of music, and all the upcoming news for the album and the projects, and yeah, basically on all my social media.
And they're all under the handle of Hot TuneiK, correct?
Yeah, I mean for Instagram it's H TuneiK Tales.
Okay.
And for Facebook is Hot TuneiK, SoundCloud is Hot TuneiK, and Beatport as well. TuneiK.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time to be on the podcast. If ever I travel to Mexico, Oaxaca, which is where I want to go, I will definitely have to let you know, and you would have to recommend me like the places to go to, and I'm gonna have to see you play as well. That'd be great. All right. Well, thank you so much.
You're gonna love when you. Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Oh man. All right. Well, thank you, Diego. I wish you a good evening. And
you too. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.